The brand new Record Details widget allows you to configure and display field values of a selected record directly on your dashboard. Hi, my name is Artem. I am a product manager here in SmartSuite, and in this video I will show you everything you need to know about this new widget type. Let's go. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, Record Details widget is capable of displaying details of a single selected record. That's why it always needs to have a record selector widget as its data source. Like in this example here on the left, I have the record selector widget that brings the list of accounts. And then on the right, I have account details, which is a record details widget, showing me details of that specific account. And as I click through, you might notice how the data changes for every account that I pick. Now on the right, these fields are not just read-only, but in fact they support full editing capabilities as if you were changing them within the record page. For example, I can change the account manager, or I could change the size of the company, change the type from customer to partner, and do everything that I want to do with these fields. But more on this later when we'll dig into the settings of the widget. But before we do this, let me draw your attention to these features in the top right corner. This one allows you to open up the actual record and get access to all the fields that are there. And then this icon right here says show comments. It actually does the same thing, but it also opens up the comments panel and brings you right into the context of a conversation that might be happening around a particular record. Okay, and now let's dive into the settings of the widget. And as I mentioned earlier, Record Details is a little bit special because as its source, it needs to have another Record Selector widget. So in this case here, I have two selectors within the dashboard, Select Account and Select Contacts, and we'll be using Select Account. And you can see down below, this little help text shows us that we are using Record Picker from Sales CRM Solution Accounts Table. Yes, this is the source of our record. Now, let's move to the Fields tab. First of all, we can add and remove fields that we want to see on this Details widget. To add a field, all we have to do is click here and pick a field from a list. And obviously we cannot add the same field twice, so as soon as we add a field to the list, it disappears from the list of available fields. Clicking on a gear icon or simply clicking on the field name will bring up the field properties model. And here we have four very important settings, and we'll start with the permissions. So we have an ability to define if this field will be displayed as editable or as a read-only within this particular widget. And a very important note here is that if we leave this field as editable, we will still respect permissions that the current user has on the solution, table, and the field level. So even if we set it to be editable and the current user has viewer permissions within the table, they will not be able to edit the field. Now, next thing is the displayed field name. Again, for every field, we can choose whether we want to display the name of the field up above. So if I set it to no and apply it, you will see that the title disappears. Oftentimes, it's useful when you want to get a cleaner look. And besides that, some fields are kind of self-explanatory. If you have a status field, everybody understands that it's a status, and you probably don't need to state it additionally here. Now, next setting is for displaying a tooltip. Similar to what we have on the record page, you can define if a help text for the field is displayed as a tooltip or as a full text below the field name. And finally, we have the field width control. And unlike the record page, in the record details widget, we have a freedom to control the width of every field, setting it from 1 to 4, with the exception of linked records, files and images, sub-items and checklists, which will always take the entire width of the widget. Okay, now that we're done with the fields, let's move to the Style tab. And here we have the ability to define the background color. We can choose from three options. We can keep it white, neutral, or make it custom. And custom option gives you a selection of these colors, or we can set it to mimic the color of the solution. And this is all I have for the record details widget. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email or hit me on LinkedIn. Thanks.